Nope. Where am I going? What the fuck? What the hell just happened? All right, folks, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the DJI Avata 2. I finally got my hands on one, and we're going to take it for a test flight. Now, I've been flying it with the motion controller. I've only flown it a couple times. I'm going to share my thoughts on that later on in the video. But we're going to use the controller 3, and we're going to actually fly it in manual mode. And I'm just going to use the default rates. I'm not going to change anything. It's kind of windy out here today. I believe the wind gusts are up to 26 miles per hour and sustained winds at maybe 19 miles per hour. However, I think the DJI Avata can handle, or the Avata 2 can handle the wind. It's around almost 6:30 right now. Sun is about to set soon. So let's get right into the video. All right, so just to let you know, this is not a review video. I will do that a little later on. I just want to get it a little acclimated to the Avata 2 and see what it's all about before I can share my thoughts on it. All right, folks, so as far as my camera settings, I have it in manual mode. I don't have any filters on here, so I am setting my ISO to auto with a max of 400 or 800, and then my shutter speed is at 320. And then I have my white balance set at 5500 and aspect ratio at 4:3. I am recording in 4K 50, and I will export this in 25 frames per second. I like to film in 24 frames per second. However, it's not offered on here, so the closest there is 25 frames per second that I can divide 50 frames per second in half, so 25 frames per second, which will most likely give me the smoothest footage. So if I were to record in 60 frames per second and try to export it at 24 frames per second, it'll be a little bit jittery with the odd number of frames. So this is the next best option here. And then I'm filming in the wide camera view. My max ISO limit is 800. So I'm going to run this through GyroFlow. So I'm keeping the stabilization off, and then I'm recording in D-Log-M. So the sun is quickly going down, so we're kind of limited on light, and maybe the next flight will be a little better. So I'm going to put it straight into manual mode and start the motors. I have 20 satellites. All right, let's go. Whoa! All right, so right off the bat, definitely notice this is a lot peppier actually. And I need to increase the gimbal pitch. Oh, about to run into there. Let's increase it to 20 to start off. All right. Ooh, definitely a lot snappier. I'm not sure if there's anyone down on those paths, so I need to kind of scout out a little bit before I go down there. But that'll be the objective here. All right, so let's just do some maneuvers here in the field before I get into that. See a split S? All right, kind of a split S, but roll. Yes, this is definitely a lot better, a lot more responsive, and a lot more floaty. It stays in the air a little bit more than the Avata, the original Avata, which was like kind of flying a brick, really. Because that thing was so heavy, so top heavy, that if you were to try to, or if you were to do a flip, you would have to come out of that flip quickly before you hit the ground. Yeah, oh yes. Oh my gosh, this is a lot better. With the Avata, I would have to flip really quick before you know, I see that ground coming towards me. Yeah, you will see it coming towards you a lot quicker on the Avata, the original Avata. All right, so let me get my goggles aren't charged that much, but I still have 76% battery on the aircraft. So the lighting is not great. Like I said, the sun is going down, and I don't know how the footage would turn out. And I'm going into the wind. I'm getting a lot of vibrations. So far, the D-Log M, the footage that I'm seeing through the goggles looks great. Hopefully I can color grade it nicely. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of shaking from the wind. Maybe we can come out here on a better day. My pitch is at, what did I say? It was at 20, right? My gimbal pitch. Yeah, the wind, it's cutting through the wind, but it is a lot of vibration going on. And that's not because of the tuning of the aircraft or anything like that. It's because of the wind. So I'm not sure if it'll come through after I stabilize it. But yeah, a lot better, a lot more control. Seems like you can do a lot more. Look at that. See if I can do it. There you go. Got a 180 drift a little bit. All right, so let's go down here into this path and see. Doesn't look like anybody's down there, so, but I'm getting a lot of wind. So my goggles batteries are down to 30, and that still should be enough for me to complete this flight. Don't think anybody's down here, so what I'm going to do is loop around, come down. Oh my gosh, this is nice. Okay. I'm loving this right here now. A little prop wash here, but with the original Avata, I could not do some of this stuff here. Why does it do that? Why does it do that? All right, so look like I'm upright. Impact detected. Actually, I could have probably held on to that. All right, so let's see if I can start these props. Actually, let me start in manual mode. All right, there we go. I mean, normal mode. Let's get out of here. I probably could have recovered from that without even killing with instinct. My instinct was to just cut the motors. All right, so let's put it back in manual. Let's see here. All right, let's put it back in manual. Here we go. All right, so first crash with the Avata 2, and hopefully it held up. I think let's put it back in sport. Oops. All right, so it's negative 15. Nope. Where am I going? What the fuck? What the hell just happened? All right, so I have no idea what just happened. You know what? I think I switched it back to manual mode by accident. All right, so drone went down. Hopefully I didn't destroy it, so we'll check. Actually, it's back on. Let's see what we have. The connection, we got connection back. Hopefully, oh, shoot. No GPS module. Let's see here. Don't tell me it hit the rocks. If it hit the rocks, I'll be pissed off. All right. So let me go find this and I'll be right back. This is terrible. All right, so just to let you know, it's like 15 minutes later. So, and I finally found it. Wherever it is, right here. Hit the rocks, and it's probably broken. Yep. Freaking thing hit the freaking rocks. The gimbal is freaking broken. Damn. Didn't even get to fly it. All right. That's it. I'm going to have to do care refresh already in less than a week. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. I don't know what happened. I think I put it in manual mode by mistake and just flicked, did the sticks some way to where it just flew. So that was probably my fault. I'm going to admit it. Maybe it's my fault. I'll look at the footage again and see what happened, but that's very unfortunate. Okay, before we get into what just happened, I do want to touch a little bit on the motion controller. Now, I got the opportunity to fly the first version when I got my DJI Avata. Now, to be honest, I only flew with it once or twice until I got my DJI Remote 2. And then at that point, I hopped on the simulator, learned how to fly FPV, and I've been using it ever since. However, when using the Motion Controller 3, it feels a lot different. This one is actually fun to use. Now, I've used this motion controller a lot more than I have in the past with the other one, only because it's more intuitive. It has a lot of buttons, a lot of things that you can do with it, and it's compact, fits in the hand a little better than the other one. And I kind of use this a little bit more on like exploratory flights. You can do a lot of precision flying with this, flying through gaps, flying through tight spaces. All you need to do is point that little circle to where you want to go, and the drone will go there. I really don't want to get too much into the motion controller. I will get into it when I do my actual review. However, if you are a beginner with FPV, this is a good option. I mean, this is basically the only option you have when you buy the Avata 2. But I kind of like this one a little bit better than the older ones. However, I do suggest if you want to actually learn how to fly FPV, I suggest not to get too accustomed to this. As soon as you can, try to buy the Controller 3 and actually learn how to fly FPV, because it opens up a whole different world of flying. So you can control the drone any way you want. The sky's the limit. It just needs a little bit of practice. And if you want a suggestion on how to start off on flying FPV, get a simulator. I use Liftoff if you're interested in that. I use Liftoff to learn how to fly FPV, and from there I was able to fly the DJI Avata with no problem. I'll leave that video, or my first flight video, right here up here in the corner, so you can go ahead and take a look at that if you want to. Now let's get into what happened and how I kind of messed up. Now, going back and looking at the footage, it appears that the gimbal was damaged after the first crash and not the second. Now, if you take a look at the footage, this is actually stabilized footage, and after I take off, you see that the gimbal is wobbling. This footage is actually unstable. So that is an indication that the gimbal was damaged. And after flying for a couple seconds, I decided to stop and adjust the gimbal. And while I was doing that, I fumbled around with the buttons on the controller and accidentally put it into manual mode. And the stars were aligned, the planets were aligned, the sticks were aligned enough to where it just activated manual mode, and I didn't even notice it. And before you know it, the drone was actually flipping over or inverting and crashing into the ground. Now, that was totally my fault. There was nothing wrong with the drone. However, the gimbal was damaged, and when it crashed into the rocks or the ground, it took me a little while to find it because I didn't know which set of rocks it was at based on the footage I saw. So it just took me a little while to find it. Now, since the gimbal dampeners were damaged and it was no way that I can purchase just gimbal dampeners and repair it, I had to put in a claim to Care Refresh. And what I did was the Care Refresh Express, to where you just put a deposit down and they'll send you actually the drone right away, and then you'll send them your damaged drone. And when they get your damaged drone, you'll get your refund on the deposit. So I do have my replacement. Now, the crash happened on the Saturday, and I didn't put in a claim until Tuesday, and then I got the drone on a Friday. So it was less than a week process. It probably would have been quicker if I put a claim in right away. But that was my experience with the Care Refresh Express. Now, with the normal Care Refresh, it would take maybe a week or two to get your drone back. Now, I'm not trying to promote that way of Care Refresh in any way. I was just sharing my experience and letting you know what I did to get my DJI Avata 2 repaired. Now, I only had this for a week, less than a week actually, before I damaged it. But my next flight will be a little bit more conservative. Now, it's hard to do when I'm flying because I do like to fly fast and also like to fly through gaps or through tight spaces and all that stuff. So my theory is if you aren't crashing, you aren't flying. So, and that's a good way to learn and better your skills. So there you go. So my advice, if you are deciding to purchase the DJI Avata 2, go ahead and purchase the Care Refresh because in the grand scheme of things, the $50 that you pay for the Care Refresh is not that much money. It will give you peace of mind and give you the peace of mind to fly this drone the way you want to, and also take a few risks if you want to. So there will be more content on the Avata 2. I haven't gotten a chance to fly it since I've got my replacement, but I will take it back out and get some more content, and we'll share with you on YouTube. And if you are interested in that, if you're interested in tricks, tips, and tutorials, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell for future content. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.